This little creep.
Oh, can you give me Hello. So about 6 years ago, my nephew Zachary got extremely ill. He's 4 years old at this point. A week after Easter, he ended up vomiting and having the diarrhea to where he was screaming in the bathroom. My sister just thought it was the normal flu and decided to take him in to the doctor. The doctor immediately admitted him to the hospital, attached an IV to his arm because he was extremely dehydrated, and took many, many blood samples. After a few days of this, they sent Zachary home because he was doing much better. So Jennifer, my sister, kept on with her mom duties. She let Zachary relax, and eventually he ate dinner. But immediately after dinner, his eyes were completely yellow. He was just in a bad state, and he started vomiting and throwing up again and having diarrhea. So Jennifer took him back into the ER. Here, the doctor looked at her. He said, "Didn't anyone call you with the blood sample results?" My sister said, "No. Why? What's going on?" The doctor said, "Zachary has HUS, which is hemolytic uremic syndrome. This syndrome is an infection caused by E. coli, and it's the worst infection you can get because it's caused by fecal matter." So the doctor immediately said, "Jennifer, you and your husband need to take Zachary to Madison Hospital because a major cause of HUS is kidney failure. And if Zachary ends up with kidney failure, we can't help him. We're not equipped to do that here in La Crosse." So Jennifer and her husband took Zachary to the hospital in Madison. And there, the doctors couldn't do nothing. They had to sit and wait. They kept records of his blood counts and just made sure Zachary was comfortable. Well, once Zachary hit rock bottom, that's when they could react. That's when they could do something. They gave Zachary 1 bag of blood, whole blood, and immediately, 2 hours after, Zachary was back to his normal self. As you can see in the picture, he looks like a rebel child, like a fun-loving kid. But Zachary, he was motionless when he hit rock bottom. He didn't speak, he didn't talk, all he did was sit there and sleep. So this blood transfusion he received, that was what he needed. So what happened with HUS infection is that the blood in his body wasn't bad. It was his blood vessels that was hurting him. Imagine a razor blade just cutting you over and over again as blood passes through your blood vessels. So with the blood transfusion, Zachary got that extra boost he needed, and that helped fight off the infection. So, as an aunt, I'm sitting there, I'm helpless. I wanted to heal my little nephew, 4 years old and innocent. I wanted to take away his pain, take away his health problem, cure him, just do whatever I could. But I couldn't. I couldn't even make the trip down to Madison to see him. So after a while, the guilt just stuck with me because I couldn't do anything. But the picture you had seen was taken in July, so that was 3 months after Zachary received the blood transfusion, and he was healthy. And I still had that guilt of, why couldn't I do anything? So as a sophomore, that following fall in high school, a blood donor recruiter came to our classroom and talked about the donation process, eligibility, and why it's so great to donate blood. So that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. And I want you guys to be a small positive in someone else's life, because with a complete stranger helping Zachary, that was his small positive. So I want you guys to walk the walk and not talk the talk. I want you guys to go do something. Do something for someone else. Whether you're 10 years old, you're a kid, you don't have your license, have your parents take you to the blood center and hand out snacks to someone that just got done donating blood. Or if you're a big football player, you're tough, you're muscular, but you're deathly afraid of needles, You know, nothing is more attractive than sitting to a first-time donor and just talking to them because they're as scared as you may be of this. So just do something. Even if you're a female and you don't weigh enough to donate, open the door and greet people as they come into the blood center. Everyone can do something. And if you decide to donate, if you're 110 pounds, you're 16 years old with parents' consent, and you have a photo ID with your birth date and name on it, you can donate. And that's what I want you guys to do. I just want you to get out there and do something. So what happens if you decide to donate? Well, you may think you're deathly afraid of it, which you very well might be, but it's not as scary as you think it is. If you made the eligibility requirements, then everything else is super easy. The first thing you're gonna do before you even donate blood is you're gonna have a good night's sleep. Your body needs all the energy it can get before you donate blood. You're also gonna wanna have a good meal, that way your body can re-nourish everything that it's been taking out. Next, you're gonna come to the registration process, whether it's a blood drive or a blood center. So during the registration process, you bring in your photo ID with your birth date and name on it, and you give it to the donor specialist who will then check you in. Once you're checked in, you're gonna go into a back room, and you're gonna be asked a series of 20 to 30 questions, yes or no answers, on a computer-based system. So you do this, and then afterwards, the donor specialist is gonna come back in and do a medical review with you. So they're gonna, along with the computer-based questions, most of the questions were very generic. They're asked to every person that donates blood. So they consist of, have you had an ear piercing in the last 6 months? Have you ever had a heart or kidney transplant? Have you been out of the country? Have you had a tattoo? Just questions that relates to anyone. So once the donor specialist goes over those questions with you to make sure you're still eligible, she will then take a mini physical. So she'll check 3 things: your pulse, your temperature, and your hemoglobin. And when they check your hemoglobin, all they're doing is sanitizing your fingertip and taking a small blood sample by a needle. But it's not very bad. And they check that to make sure your iron levels are decent. So after you've gone through all of that and you've passed everything, it's time to donate. You guys need to sit back in a chair, kick your feet up, and relax. So when you donate blood, all they do is they sanitize the inner arm and then they stick the needle in. Now they're not gonna sit there and stab you with a needle because it's not as scary as you think it is. They're gonna slide the needle in. And then as they do this, it's gonna take 10 minutes to donate 1 pint of blood, while the whole process does take 1 hour. But you may be thinking, well, 1 pint of blood, that's a lot of blood. No. Research shows that the average adult has 10 to 11 pints of blood in their body. So 1 pint of blood is taking nothing out of you. So after you donate, they're gonna bandage you up and wipe off all the iodine off your arm. Then they're gonna send you to the lounge where they're gonna give you a snack and a beverage, preferably juice. And you're just gonna sit there and relax for a few minutes, and then you're good to go. That's it. The next few hours, you may feel a little fatigued or lightheadedness, but it's not gonna last for the rest of your life. What they do recommend is that you continue to drink a lot of water because your body needs to stay hydrated, and that you also don't do a lot of strenuous activity or heavy lifting directly after you donate blood. So after you donate blood, you're gonna be on cloud 9. You're gonna feel like the hero, like you did something great that no one can stand in your way. You're gonna be that positive. Now, when you're that positive, you are helping so many people. You're saving 3 people's lives. For Zachary's instance, he got a whole blood transfusion, so his blood was taken directly from the blood center and was used to him, but most of the time they separate the blood into 3 units. So what's involved in this 3 units is they separate 1 unit into red blood cells. So this is transporting oxygen throughout the body. So many people, everyone needs this, otherwise you get short of breath all the time. They also separate it into platelets. Now platelets is very critical for cancer patients because they cut and bleed so easily. What platelets does is when you get a cut on your finger, it goes to that site, it binds, and it starts a blood clot, which prevents you from bleeding. So they separate it into platelets. The third thing they separate it into is plasma. Now plasma helps maintain blood pressure, so if you need the blood pumping to your heart, it helps with that. But donating blood, it's the positive because you can help so many people. You can help a friend that has leukemia, someone that needs a kidney or heart transplant. They need that whole blood. They need that to survive. Or even if you're driving in a car with a friend and you get in a car accident, their leg gets cut off, they now lost 4 pints of blood. They're gonna need blood to live. They need those blood transfusions, and we are the positive for them. So this is Zachary today, 10 years old, healthy, happy, what every 10-year-old kid should be. And because of one complete stranger taking 1 hour of selfless time to help him, he's living. He's doing everything a 10-year-old should be. And because of that, because of Zachary, he's the reason I donate blood today. I'm at 2 gallons of donating blood. And because he gave me that reason, I became selfless. And I wanted to take one small piece of me and help a complete stranger. So I donate blood to be that small positive when someone else is at their all-time low. What are you guys gonna do? Thank you.